Welcome back to the second, I would say third part actually. So in the previous video, what I covered was the front end, an overview of the actual app, right? So, and then I covered the front view and the front end overview in how it was integrated to the backend, to those different services like DynamoDB table, API gateway, Lambda function, S3, and then others. And then now I'm going to give you an overview of the backend services. So then I'm going to be dividing all of those, I would say, what's exactly happening: authentication, authorization, content, storage, and delivery, and user interaction in a flowchart, right? So these parts will be separately taught to you on, I would say, as a flowchart of how the users is going, say, from sign in all the way to liking a story, and then commenting on the story. And then also I will walk you through how I'm creating the Cognito user pool, how I'm creating the DynamoDB table, S3 function, and everything. Okay, so coming back to a short overview of how this app actually look like, right? So this is an architecture diagram that I created with Figma and just added it here, right? So for the part one, what's happening is a user uses Cognito user pool to sign up and sign in, and then identity pool is being used for the service access. That's for authorization, such as S3, Route 53, and other services in AWS. So that's the first part. For example, a user logins in the app via the Cognito, and then the user taps on a stories list to go to that story. So that was actually just like this one, right? So if I can go back, I have signed in already. Now I click on the story, and now I see this story. I can click on liking the story. I can leave a comment, right? So this is actually this part. So for now, okay, I did this thing. And then number 3 is what's happening is this app is being authorized to access S3, right? So the story that you actually saw in here, for example, this content of the story that you see here is actually stored in S3. Now, since I have signed in as a user, and this app has a Cognito IAM role that allows to interact with the backend in S3. So this is the sign up and sign in was Cognito user pool, while the identity pool is that this whoever has this role that they are allowed to access S3. So I have created an IAM Cognito identity pool role with S3 full access. So now anyone that's signed in through this app, they have full access to S3. So one thing that I have to mention, don't allow full access to S3, but for the sake of simplicity for this app, I have used full access, but maybe it depends if you wanted to allow them just read access, that will be good enough. But for me to keep things simple, I did it that way. So here you go, the user sign ins, and then they click on the select a certain story, and then that story is being stored in the S3. And now how the user is actually able to read that story, right? So one thing is that they fetch the story. Here you go. Okay, for example, I went to someone's door, I knocked on it, right? And I see that there is a nice cake sitting on their kitchen table. That's one thing that I see that it's there, right? So what this Cognito IAM role allows me. So for example, I knock on the door, they open the door, and I see the cake is sitting on the table. So it's just me seeing this thing. So this role just allowed that, okay, this S3, the text of this certain story, for example, is story number 1, that this text is actually sitting there. For example, if I go back and here like this, I just see them, it's sitting there. But for me now to actually access it, it has to be a completely different story in the backend for that to work. So let's just go dive into part 2. So I have used a CloudFront, a Route 53 in a custom domain name to allow that story to be at least available here on the front end for some on the app screen for someone to read it. And for me to actually go sit on the kitchen table and eat it, I have to go through these, I would say, 3 different services So the custom domain name is something you actually can register with, for example, like GoDaddy or any other of the services, or you can also do it with Amazon. But for me, it was much cheaper to go with the GoDaddy, and then you add the Route 53, and then you add CloudFront, right? So again, I'm going to be walking you through exactly the steps for how I created Route 53, CloudFront, custom domain name, industry. But for now, just letting you know what you have on the front end, how the backend for it works. So for me to be able to sign in and sign up is the Cognito user pool. For me to be able to know that this certain story exists in the backend industry was the Cognito identity pool that has an IAM role that gives a full S3 access. And for me to be actually able to read a story on the app screen, I have to go through the CloudFront, through the Route 53 custom domain name, and then be able to read it. So that's the second part. Now coming to the third part, which is user interaction, right? So here you go. If I go back, first part, authentication and authorization. Second part was content storage and delivery. So how the story is being stored in the backend NS3 and how it's being delivered, which is through the CloudFront and Route 53 in custom domain name. So that's the second part. And now the third part would be, so here you go. Let's just go with this one, right? So we covered part 7, and then we go to step 7, and then we go to step 8. So a user A taps on like button, for example. Let me just do it right in front of you. So let me just go to story number 4. I think I haven't liked it. So now I'm a user, I click on the story, right? So here you go, the likes actually increased. I tapped on a story. So user A reads the story. Here you go. No, actually they read the story, they like the story, and then what happens is in the API gateway, as I showed to you, so a post method on the API gateway. So the insert like function is being toggled on the front end. So this is what I showed you. If I quickly go back here. So if you see, this is the API gateway endpoint, and this is my insert like function that actually uses the post method. And then this is the API URL that's being used in here to allow that story to be stored in the backend in DynamoDB. Now what happens? So I tapped on the story, a post method. So in the front end code, insert like function sends an HTTP post request through the API to the API gateway, passing the story ID in the user ID retrieved from the Cognito as parameter. So that's another step. And then now API gateway has that information. What is it going to do? As you saw that we had integration between the API gateway and the Lambda function. So let me just quickly show you what I mean by that. I know these steps can be a lot more confusing, but I will do a summary of it for you to understand what it actually is. So let me just go to my story likes API. Then I go to the insert like, and I go to the my post function, and then in the integration part, I have insert like Lambda function. And now this Lambda function has this integration, as you can see, and this is actually a post method. So coming back here, so what happened, I had insert like function on the front end. It sent a HTTP post request to the API gateway. And then that API gateway is actually integrated with the Lambda function. So this is insert like Lambda function. It has a certain code in here that interacts with the DynamoDB table. Now, as you can see that my Lambda function is integrated to the API gateway. And this happens when you actually create the API gateway method. That's when you do the integration. But again, that's for another time. The API gateway and Lambda function are integrated. And then now for the Lambda function to talk to the DynamoDB table is actually happening, as I told you, through this code, right? So I have this code in Python that actually talks to the DynamoDB table. And then I have added the story likes DynamoDB table name here. So let me just go to DynamoDB table really quickly in there. Okay, so this is the story that I actually have in here in the DynamoDB table. So again, once Lambda function and API gateway are being integrated, then the Lambda function has certain codes that allows to now add those likes in comments into DynamoDB table. For example, these are the number of the stories. Let me just go back quickly to my app. So that was story number 4. And I am logged in as Mona. So I want to see story number 5. I want to refresh this thing. So story number 5, I wanted to go there. Actually, I don't need to go that way. I wanted to show it another way. So that was story number 5. I want to see if that user is actually there, right? So story number 5, where did it go? Story number 5, this is story number 5. So I have these certain users, then I should have some more users. Here you go. So Mona.star, I was one of the person, but actually like the certain story is actually being added to the backend, right? So once again, I sent a request through the API gateway. And now API gateway is being integrated with the Lambda function, and then Lambda function through this code added my like to the DynamoDB table and here to the certain specific story, right? So this is how it works. I know it's a lot more confusing, but once you go through all the steps, then it might make somehow some sense to you, right? So the Lambda function receives the story ID in the user ID. It updates the DynamoDB table, increment the likes, and also records the user ID as one of the users who liked the story, the one that you saw. And then it sends a success response, which is status code 200. And now the story likes has a primary key as a story ID. And it stores likes in the users who like the story, which you just saw. My apologies, which you just saw. Anyways, so that was step number 13. And now coming to step number 14, right? So when a user loads the story page, the like count and the comment count is loaded so they can see how many likes the story has got, who has liked the story, and which comments the story has, right? So this is what it means, right? So for example, if I just put it a little bit this way, so there are 5 likes, I can see that. And then the users who have liked the story, and then also the number of comments. And then also if I just go to those comments, I can see what those comments are and who have liked those comments. I mean, who have made those comments, right? So this was step number 14. And then number 15 is in the front-end code, the load like count, the fetch user will like the story, and then load user like status, and then load comment and load comment count. All of those functions are called, which sends an HTTP GET request to the API gateway to retrieve the like count, the current status of the user who liked the story, and the user who actually have commented in that entire thing. I know that's too much, but then if I quickly come back here, so those are the 4 different, I would say API gateway or API gateway endpoint URLs, right? And then also those are those different functions that I just mentioned. For example, insert like was what I discussed at the top in here, because that was actually a post request. I was actually posting something. That's my like was like a post, or maybe if it's a comment, is a post request. So that content is being received and then it's being added to the DynamoDB table. So that's a separate thing. So this part that I'm talking about and here in all those functions is actually me just seeing, okay, so there are 5 likes in here, there are 4 comments in here. I click on this thing and I see the users who have liked the story, and then I click on this thing and actually comments are being loaded. So for me, just to see how many likes, how many comments, what comments, which users have left those comments in, who have liked the story. These are the functions that are being used, and this is only and only a GET request through the API. So it's not a POST request. And again, it's the same API gateway, but we have different Lambda function. Let me show you what I mean by that. As you can see, so I have insert like, which was 1, and then I have a load comment count, load like, and then also load users like status. So all those are different resources. For example, I'm going to maybe let me just go quickly to load comment one, right? So it's actually a resource. So that's the name of the resource, load comment. Within that, I have a get method, and then that get method is actually being connected to a Lambda function or integrated to a Lambda function. And then that Lambda function has certain code, as I told you earlier, and then they send that code to the DynamoDB table to add that comment. So once again, right? So for me seeing these things, it's a get method, those functions on the front end, which is this one, load like, okay. Load user like status, and then load comment count. And I also have a story comment section, which is just for the comments. And here, for example, I click on the comments and I see those comments. So for this page to be shown, I have this code in here. But once again, I have again, and for these stories to be added, I have load comments. I have an API gateway and a Lambda function integration for that to happen. For example, load comments and upload comment, but that's a different one. This was the function that was actually adding those comments to S3. But let me just not go to more details because it will only make someone confused on this one. So number 15, step number 15, I am on this specific, I would say, page. I see likes and comments. Those are the front-end functions that kind of send an HTTP GET request to the API gateway. API gateway is being, I would say, integrated to those different, 5 different Lambda functions. So again, I have one API gateway. Within that one API gateway, I have 5 different resources created, and then each resource has a certain method. In this case, it's a get method for all of them. And those get methods are being integrated with 5 different Lambda functions that has a certain code. And then using that code, they interact with the DynamoDB table, which is story like if it's for the like, and story comments if it is for the comments. Which is step number 17. But again, I will be discussing those parts in much more details. But for now, I hope that actually made some sense. I will take a quick minute to kind of walk you again through it really quickly. I used user pool for sign up and sign in, right? I used identity pool with an IAM role that allow full access to S3 to be able to see to be able to access the text of the stories in S3. And now for that S3, for that stories text to be able for me to actually read it like this. And here it's being used CloudFront, Route 53 in a custom domain name. And then for me to actually like a comment, like a story, leave a comment and see those things, I am using, for liking a story, I'm using a post method endpoint URL on the API gateway along with a Lambda function in a DynamoDB table. And then for me to actually see these likes and comments, I'm using an API gateway, a different Lambda functions, and then kind of fetching those content back from the DynamoDB table. So I hope it kind of made sense. In the next video, what I will be covering is just part 1, and in that part 1, I will be showing how I created Cognito user pool and identity pool along with the IAM role. So for now, that's it. I hope it kind of made sense to you. If it didn't, I will try my best in the subsequent videos for it to make sense to you. So for now, I am going to stop my video here. Have a lovely day. See you again.